Yo, fellas, if y'all want to see me wife a girl that looks like this, or even this, tap in with my Instagram, man. My goal is 10K followers. If y'all active, I will follow back. Come on, y'all. I know we could do it, but hey, here go the vid. Aside from football, basketball is one of the best sports that college has to offer. Just think about it. The bright lights, packed stadiums, even March Madness when your favorite teams are going at it. Now me, I was in that position. And most people don't get to go Division I, but I was lucky enough to do it. I found myself at the University of Oregon, and man, I had high hopes and high dreams. But sadly, everybody ain't got a Cinderella story. You see, I found myself trapped on the bench, and for some reason, I couldn't get off of it. And a lot of my coaching staff, man, they just didn't think I was ready. And I had a bad year. My freshman year was terrible. It was definitely something I'd never forget, but something I wish I could forget. After having a terrible freshman year, I decided maybe I should go Division II, and maybe that route will have something a little better for me. And I ended up committing to Northwestern Missouri State. And 2 years ago, they had actually won the Natty. But since then, the program had fallen off. So I figured maybe I could come in here, get some experience, and hopefully I could make my way back up to the D1 level. Now pretty soon, it was time for that first game of the season. And of course, I wouldn't be starting this game. I found myself, I wouldn't say early in the rotation, probably mid-rotation. I was like the 7th or 8th man on the bench. Just looking to get out there and see what I could do, really. It was kind of humbling being at this level now, but ain't no time for me to be discouraged or anything. When I get the opportunity, hey, I gotta make the most of it. I got that extra chip on my shoulder, cause if you think about it, I'm really not even supposed to be here. And I felt like everybody who was watching me on this team, they knew that. They was just looking at me as a D1 dropback, so I had to make the most of it. And my first play in the game, man, I had a wide open lane, tried to rise up, right off the rim. Imagine getting rim stuffed your first play of the game. Man, I just told y'all I had to come in here and make an impact, and that's the first thing I do. Y'all should have seen the look on Coach's face. That had to be one of the most embarrassing moments in my career. And to be honest, I don't know why I was so nervous. Maybe it was the fact that I just had to prove myself out here, but I really can't tell. But after those nerves went away, I just got to playing my game, honestly. At the end of the day, it's just basketball. And it's all mental. I knew I had the skills to compete at this level. It's all the mental game. And you can bet my morale was super low. Coming from Oregon to a D2, man, my dreams was the NBA. I didn't expect to be here. But every underdog got a tough story. And if I work hard, mine could be up there with one of the best. But it doesn't start if I don't perform in this game. I gotta work my way up in the rotation first before I even get to talking about the NBA, D1, or anything else. And during this game, it was pretty competitive. I didn't know what to expect from the D2 level, but they got some hoopers at this level. Don't get it twisted. JUCO, D3, D2, or D1. Hey, it's hoopers everywhere, man. You just gotta find them. And that's exactly why I knew if I make all the right moves, hey man, I'll get where I need to be. Now, I was trying to build my chemistry with the team early in this game. I was also trying to impress coach as well. Hey man, I was just taking what the defense was giving me, reading everything, the zone coverages, the man coverages. Had this one pick and roll play, tried to throw it up to the big, and it hit absolutely nothing. One of the worst lob passes you'll ever see. So not only did I have a dunk that got rim stuffed, I threw a lob basically to Jesus Christ and my teammate didn't catch it. Talk about 2 bad mistakes in one game. But I ended up getting a block on this one play. Hit a full sprint to the other side of the court and got the easy one-hand flush. And that was a pretty impressive play. I mean, I got the block on the other end and I just immediately got the running. My teammate, full speed down the court. Hey man, I found a slip in the defense and I just rose up. It's one of the strengths of my game. That's one of the reasons why I went D1 in the first place. I've always been super athletic. I just had to figure out how to incorporate that into my game to make me even better player. Hey! But best believe, if ain't nobody under that rim, hey, your boy rising up for sure. Now let me get y'all hip for some of y'all who may not know. The first game of the season is usually a team that's so bad, it's basically a scrimmage game. They even do that in Division 1, so I expected this game to be not a walk in the park, but fairly easy. And man, I knew everybody was gonna have a chance to play, so when I got in, I was just working on everything I could, especially on locking up. I even got sent to the free throw line a few times, and I was just working on my free throw. Aside from the vertical, I needed to develop a jump shot. That's another one of the reasons why I didn't make it at the D1 level. I got to be able to shoot. Even though my inside game is pretty strong, man, and when you talking about the NBA, you got to be able to shoot. I mean, look at guys like Steph Curry, Dame Lillard, Corey Cash, or even Lonnie Wade. Man, you got to be able to hit it from long range, mid range, and have an inside game. And if you don't, you better make sure you elite at something else like defense. And that's exactly what I knew. So every opportunity I got, I was just being aggressive. After winning that first game, we moved on to play the Ashlin Eagles. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I had a pretty decent showing that first game, so coach gave me a little bit more clock. Man, that's all I needed. More opportunity on top of opportunity. And man, my first play of the game, I drove to the lane, got a crazy layup, man. A real acrobatic finish. Some Kyrie Irving type stuff. Man, I told y'all, finishing, I got a pretty strong finishing game. Hey man, all you gotta do is ask one of the soccer girls at Oregon. But anyway, right after that, I got another easy buck, and I felt like I was starting to heat up. It is until we got on defense, man, and I basically got cooked on the pump fake. Man, that dude cooked me so bad, I just had to end up jogging off and act like ain't nothing happened. He was celebrating and all that. Now, I wasn't trying to turn into no ball hog and go crazy, but y'all can best believe I wanted to ISO him after that. So man, I just did the smart basketball play. You know what they say, when you give the ball up, you're most likely gonna get it back. So on the other end, I got a bucket right back on him. Now it wasn't a deadly pump fake like he hit me with, but hey, it's an eye for an eye, so it counts. As the game went on, man, I just continued to do my thing. I get a bucket here, a bucket there, maybe even an assist. I actually ended up being the second leading scorer in points, so I could say this was another solid performance for me. Man, I had a couple highlight plays too. There was this one play where I called for a screen, drove to the lane, faked like I was about to shoot it, and then got a crazy dump off to the big man for an easy lay. I mean, there's plays like that definitely get the coach attention. So I just had to keep stacking them. But all in all, man, the team played well this game, which is exactly why we was able to come in here on enemy territory and walk out of here with a dub. Starting off 2-0, hey man, there's no better start we could have had. Had to dap them boys up after the game, and man, I just had to keep getting better and better. Midway through the season, I finally worked my way up to being the starting point guard. And man, let me tell you, it took a lot of hours in the gym, a lot of trust in myself, and it might have been a little bit of luck in there, but that don't matter. We here. And luckily, my first game starting was against a team who hadn't had a win yet, so I wasn't just getting thrown in the fire. But hey man, we don't sleep on nobody. That's what coach be preaching all the time, so I was fully locked in from the moment tip-off happened. Hey man, I ran up on dude instantly. I showed coach, hey man, you put me in the game, so I gotta bring the energy from the jump. And that's exactly what I tried to do. Now, I wasn't sure how I wanted to approach this game. I could either be pass first or aggressive. But hey man, when in doubt, just be aggressive. On the first play of the game, I drove straight at the defense. Ended up making a difficult layup. And looking back on it, this was actually a crazy game. I mean, not only was I getting my first start, it was a lot on the line. Because if I played good in this game, I mean, it would solidify me as one of the best point guards in the conference. And not only that, it will also prove to people that I can actually hoop. I know I still got some doubters out there, but hey man, that's what the Revenge Tour all about. Come out here and put our skills on full display. Every single day, every single week, every single month, every opportunity we get. And man, with 4 minutes left to go in the second, got a highlight play. Hey! Yes, sir. Your boy ended up putting that boy in the poster. I told y'all earlier, if there's one thing you need to remember about my game, hey, I got like a 40-inch vert. I told y'all that's what got me recruited. And sadly, hey man, I saw a dude in the paint. I figured why not go for it? I mean, I literally have nothing to lose, bruh, so I just rose up and number 0 had to pay for it, man. And the bench was going crazy. You should have seen them. Everybody jumped up for your boy. Well, except for the coaching staff. You know how serious they be all the time. And y'all can best believe I was hype afterwards. I mean, that's the best play of my career so far. I'm standing on that too. But man, this team managed to keep it close for the rest of the game. I was actually surprised. I mean, they didn't have a win at all. But that's exactly why you can never underestimate your competition. I don't care who it is, what level it is. Somebody will come in your crib and beat you, bruh. It don't matter. But unfortunately for them boys, man, that ain't happening tonight. The way we was playing and the way I heated up after that posterizer, man, it was really good night, Irene. I even got the dagger play. They tried to swing it over to the wing, ended up picking that mug off. And I ain't see nobody in the way. Hey, y'all already know what that meant. It was showtime. I had about 4 dunks on the day. Hey! And after this game, hey man, I better get an invite to a frat party or something. I deserve it. They subbed me out early, and I was just watching the young bucks go to work. And honestly, that was me a little bit ago, so I was humble with it. Pretty soon, we had to go against the best team in the conference. And not only were they the best team, they had the best player. Hey, bro won player of the year last year, so he was definitely like that. But coming into this game, I wanted to show that my skills match up with his. Hey, I may be new to this conference, and technically I may be a D1 dropback, but hey man, I can compete with anybody, even the best of them. And what better way to do it than going at the best team in the conference with everything I got? Man, we had a full house this game. I'm pretty sure it was sold out. The whole arena was rocking, man. We was just ready to come out there and put on the show. Everybody was ready to hoop, whole team. The coach was so hyped, I thought he was finna suit up with us too. But man, the point guard they had guarding me, he was way too little, bruh. I mean, I'm a solid 6'2", but dude had to be at least 5'8". And man, they best player, he got cooking right out the gate. Dude slipped on the back screen, and next thing I know, he flushed it. I ain't even see him do it. That's how fast he was moving out there. And he was definitely animated. I mean, bro would celebrate after every time he scored. But I ended up catching him on the play, went up for a layup, and I sent that thing right off the glass. And man, it hit the backboard so hard, I'm pretty sure you could hear that thing from the student center. You could probably hear that thing from the next state over. I ain't trying to brag or nothing, but I don't know why he would go up with that, knowing I was hawking him down. I'm trying to tell y'all boys, ever since I got that starting job, I've been trying to bring the energy every single game. And on this play, hit the spin move and got a crazy scoop layup. And man, it took us a while to get our groove in this game, but hey, I felt like I was flowing from the beginning tip-off. I mean, I was hitting some difficult shots, and this is the best team in the conference, supposedly. They supposed to have the best defense and the best player, so I shouldn't be getting none of this off, but hey man, I was just consistent with it. Everything I saw, I was just taking it, from step back mid ranges to Euro steps or even spin layups. I was honestly out there just hooping, wasn't even thinking, taking whatever the defense gave me. That's what my pops always taught me. And man, I even had a crazy dunk. I felt like LeBron. Hey! It was a little sidearm tomahawk, and to be real with y'all, that was my first time doing that in the game. I would always practice it in warm-ups and shoot-arounds, but hey, I figured why not try it. But I can't sleep on their best player, man, because that dude, I see why they call him the best player. He can definitely hoop for sure. I mean, of course, I don't think he better than me, but dude was nice. He was out there getting buckets. I ain't even gonna hate on him. But every time he would get a bucket, hey, that would just motivate me to go get the ball and go get a bucket on the other end. And 9 times out of 10, that's exactly what would happen. And the only reason it ain't 10 times out of 10, because if I didn't score, they would most likely foul me. That's just how it go, bro. And I ain't even trying to sound cocky or nothing, but I knew I always had it in me. I mean, I ain't really get the opportunity to show it at Oregon, or maybe I just wasn't ready for the bright lights. But here, man, I felt super comfortable for some reason. I had my struggles in the beginning of the season for sure, but once I got locked in and ready to go and comfortable, all that went away. I was really becoming a solid player. Not just a solid player, but I believed I was becoming the player that I was meant to be. And man, it helped I had a good supporting cast. I mean, these boys on the team wasn't no scrubs. I mean, it was at the bottom half of the conference last year, but I don't see why. But I mean, who would I be to talk about the past? I mean, we here now, and from the looks of it, we looking pretty decent. And man, my teammates was out here hooping. That boy hit a turnaround fade like he was MJ. Man, talk about confidence. I ain't doing no turnaround fades like that, but I'll get to the cup and get an easy layup over the center. Now this game definitely went down to the wire, but thanks to a clutch bucket from me and some good free throws, we ended up walking away with that dub. And we felt confident after beating the best team in the conference, so we carried that on into the rest of the season. And it would be exactly 3 games later where I would have my best game of the season. Not just the season, might be the best game of my career. From the moment the game started, I was just locked in and wanted to attack. And this was mainly because my coach was telling me, hey, if you keep playing how you playing, you gonna make first team all conference. And I knew if I did that, it would help my chances of getting back to the D1 level. So, hey man, I was for sure locked in. And it was paying off. We had to go against the University of Minnesota Duluth. It's a good D2 school. Man, I was acting up this game. I was even pulling the tray ball. Boom! And I told y'all I don't really be shooting like that. All my work come from the inside. But hey, it was time to switch it up this game. And the crazy thing is, hey! I got one of the best dunks of my career in this game as well. And what's even crazier than that, bro, we was losing, but I was hooping though. And I was literally willing my team back into the game. Man, if y'all was watching this game live, a lot of y'all would actually believe I was a D1 player. I was really starting to look like it now. Like, it was clear. No debate at all. And man, I got that crazy dunk, and the onslaught really just continued. Hey! I mean, I had 2 wild dunks in this game. And I gotta mention my teammates too, because I would just give them boys the ball and they would make something happen. They wanted to win this game just as much as I did. And man, when you got teammates like that, it's gonna be hard for a team to put you away easy. I mean, I don't care how much you down by. If y'all willing to fight to the last buzzer, you got a shot against anybody, no matter who it is. And as the game went on, we just kept chipping away at that lead. Like I said, I was hooping, but I was also finding my teammates. And when I found my teammates, they just looked for the best possible shot we could have gotten in that situation. Boom! And we ended up turning up. Man, we was on Duluth head, bro. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Next thing you know, you looked up and we was only down by 4. And I drove to the lane, got an easy buck over their point guard, and we was only down by 2. And man, the game just kept on going and going, and your boy was still acting up. I mean, you would think Haley Davies was in the arena or something. I was playing like, man, I don't know what got into me for real. That was the best I had ever played in my life. And I promise y'all I didn't get none before the game. I was just listening to music and chilling. And to be honest, man, they was playing some good defense. But it always seemed like I had a half step on whoever was guarding me every single time. I don't know if I got quicker since the beginning of the season, because I really didn't think I was that fast. But my first step, I wouldn't say lightning quick, but it definitely has improved. And you know your boy was still getting on that rim, driving to the rim, really getting all type of crazy finishes. And we had ended up taking the lead, and man, we was starting to run away with it, honestly. Bruh, I was not missing a shot. I was in this thing going crazy. And at the time, I had 37 points. And then that's how the game go, man. In the blink of an eye, everything can change. I'm telling you, bro. I was having the game of my life, and then one false move, and your boy was down. And man, it ain't feel like no light ankle injury. Maybe it was a sprain, but if so, it was a severe one. I mean, I was on the ground for a minute. It felt like I was there for hellas, man. I don't even remember how long it was. I just remember looking up, seeing the bright lights, and holding my ankle in pain. And in my head, I was just thinking to myself, why, bruh? Why now? I was literally going crazy. I had worked my way into the starting lineup. And man, I was making a push for that first team all conference. And everything just came shattering down. As my teammates was helping me off the court, I couldn't help but keep my head down, man. I was just hoping it wasn't too serious. And I really wanted to get back out there, bruh. But sadly, I was done for the day. And when the trainer told me that, man, broke my whole spirit. Now we ended up winning the game, and I had a crazy performance, 37 points. But this injury was gonna be another obstacle I had to overcome.